When oil was first discovered, there was a lot of oil in the ground, and we've used approximately half. But it's a mistake to think, okay, we still have the other half. That's another 150 years. No, it's not, because the other half is so much more difficult to get. Look, for example, at what happens when BP goes into the ocean to try and get that oil. It's a disaster. That's the oil we're talking about. So it's more difficult and it's more expensive. And if it becomes so expensive, it becomes too expensive for the oil companies, they won't bother. They're just going to leave it there. So it doesn't matter that half of it's down there, because it probably will never be used. It's just not worth it. Here's an analogy. Imagine that you have this petri dish, and there are bacteria or yeast in it. And there are just 2 of them at the beginning, at midnight on Monday. And by midnight on Tuesday, they're going to fill the whole dish, because they multiply every minute. The question is, what time is it when they fill half the dish? Well, some people say noon or 6 o'clock. No. 11:59 p.m. 1 minute before midnight is when they fill half the dish, because they double every minute. That's where we are with oil. It's 1 minute to midnight, because we may have half of it left, but we have a lot more people. And they have cars, and they're buying cars in China and India every day, thousands of cars. All of this is the reason why we don't have time to think about it and experiment and, well, what about the renewables? Okay, the renewables are fantastic, but you have to look at what it takes to make them. People say, well, we have the electric car. If only they hadn't suppressed the electric car. What does it take to make that electricity? Oil, coal, nuclear power.